Alright, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. I'm at Dixon Lake this morning. Check it out. First time here. And I rented a boat. I haven't rented a boat in a very long time. As you know, I'm usually on my kayak. And I used to do a lot of boat fishing living in Mission Viejo at our local lake. We had our own bass boat, but since the golden algae problem there, we haven't fished that lake in years. So it's kind of nice being back out on a motorboat. I'm not going to get much of a workout today, but I'm looking forward to the fishing. I was talking to the park rangers. They said this lake hasn't been stocked since November, so it might be a bit slow. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. I'm just glad to be out on the water and exploring a new lake. Wow, this is a nice one. It looks like a pretty big lake compared to the ones I've been going to recently, like Fountain Valley and Tri-City. This is a good sized lake. Because I'm not familiar with this and I don't have a fish finder, this is going to be a challenge. But you know what? That's part of the fun of fishing, is discovering new areas. So let's see if we're going to be able to spot some or land any trout today. I'm at max speed and I'm barely moving. These trolling motors aren't very fast. Right now it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's still fairly early. It's cold enough to where I think the trout will still be hanging out in the shallows. But Dixon Lake is here in Escondido, California, which is in the county of San Diego. It took me just a little over an hour to get here. It really wasn't that bad, not too far of a drive. But I've been very curious about this lake, so I'm excited to finally get the chance to fish it.
Here I'm approaching Trout Cove. After speaking to one of the park rangers, he recommended I try this spot first. So you can see that's my boat there towards the center of the screen. And I spent most of my time this morning fishing this little cove.
Alright, here's my setup. I'm using chartreuse power worms. So I'm building these mice tails versus using the pre-made ones with this orange and clear power egg. But that last fish broke me off, so I'm gonna have to retie it on this Carolina rig using a number 8 mosquito or number 6. So these number 6 and number 8 mosquito hooks are perfect because they allow these mice tails to float, and they're super sharp. I only use owner mosquito hooks. So I'm just using the standard, my go-to improved clinch knot. 5 wraps, 1, 2, with the knot, in this case with lake water. So first thing you want to do is feed the power egg onto the shank of the hook towards the eye, just like that, and then the power worm goes right behind it. Like that. See how well that hook is exposed? You want hook exposure, and then you just dip it into your favorite garlic scent. And for me, it's always been bite on garlic. On this Carolina rig. So I have a barrel swivel. I have about maybe a foot and a half leader, and a 1/4 ounce egg sinker. Now there are 2 ways to fish mice tails. You could dead stick them. That means cast them out and just let them sit on the bottom, because of the leader I have on there, it'll float about 1.5 feet off the bottom. You just let it sit there, or you jig it. And typically that's where I've caught most of my fish on mice tails, is by putting a little movement on them by jigging. Fish on, baby. Nice tail. That's a nice trout. Look at that. First fish of the morning. It's at least 13, 14 inches. It's a nice fish. That's a good sized fish. Conditions today are great. Very little wind. Temperature is barely above 50 though. It's a bit chilly. But yeah, I'm liking this lake. Now the one thing about these boat rentals, the anchors, they only put about 20 feet of rope on the anchors, so you have to get really close to shore. As you can see, I'm right by the shoreline here, just so that the anchor could reach bottom. There's a pretty steep drop off from the shoreline. I was maybe just 10 feet away from the shore, and the anchor could not reach bottom. I'm not sure why they put such short anchor tethers on here. They're just not long enough. This lake seems to be pretty deep, but man, I wish this was a polarized lens. This water is unbelievably clear. It's comparable to Lake Mission Viejo in its heyday. Super clear water. It's nice. Like I said, I will definitely be returning to this lake.
So I spent about an hour and a half over here at Trout Cove, and then decided to pull up anchor and explore this lake. So here I'm heading towards the opposite side of the lake to what appears to be a dam. It's buoyed off, so you'll see what this looks like in a minute. I'm gonna launch my drone and see this lake from the other side, but in the meantime I'll throw out a line so I can troll on my way out there. It only took me about 10 minutes to reach this side of the lake, and as you can see, I've launched my drone just to get a better look from the sky at what's on the other side of these buoys. The Dixon Reservoir it's a small man-made reservoir created back in the early 70s, and the lake itself is about 69 acres in size. But the cool thing about this lake is that you don't need a California fishing license. You do have to pay a $9 fee to get a fishing permit, and I think it's another $3 if you want to use a second rod. It's pretty neat. If you want to rent a boat, it's $40 for the boat rental, and that's for the entire day. But it is a well-maintained lake. Like I mentioned earlier, the water is super clear. Here I'm heading back to the boat launch. So let's take one final look at this beautiful lake from the sky. hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you would, give this video a thumbs up. It would really help out the channel. Thank you.